like and subscribe. Do you smoke weed? Why or why not? I used to. I stay away from it now because it began to make me more and more anxious and paranoid. I didn't like how loud my thoughts were and the things I was thinking about. I would get very existential and start overanalyzing every aspect of my life. Thinking about how I appear in other people's perspectives, whether or not my dreams were stupid in their realism. Not to mention it always turned me into a major cabbage. Being high in the wrong places alone led to some strange situations in my brain. I'm better off without. Not anymore. I got clean of meth, and anything that even slightly chemically enhances my mood like a drug would send me spiraling down. I do not. It's legal in my state, but I work for a public utility and we operate under federal regulations, so if I ever got caught with a random screening then I'd be out of a job. All the bad things people in here say it does for them: anxiety, paranoia, loud thoughts, making them feel uncomfortable or uneasy. It does the opposite for me. Weed shuts my brain up and lets me sleep at night. It makes me less paranoid and anxious, less worried about everything all the time. No songs stuck in my head, no getting angry for no reason, or for little reasons, no thinking my significant other is always trying to cheat on me, no overreactions or lack of reaction. It makes me normal, and it helps me get through the day. I mostly tend to vape it, though I also do edibles and smoke flower, and tinctures, and pretty much every way you can consume it, lol. I used to, was a pothead for 6 continuous years. Had to quit after my existence only became known for weed. My friends were just superficial people who wanted to do drugs with me, that it hamstringed my ambitions, became too dependent on it as an emotional crutch, the memory loss, and of course, how time my lungs felt. Nowadays, I'll smoke on rare occasion exclusively, and I'll genuinely enjoy the feeling of being high. I lived in a foggy haze for multiple years, and I am feeling much better on the other side of things. View my reply on how my journey of addiction unfolded, and how I quit, in the comments below. Here, https, old.reddit.com/r/squared/do_u_we_y_not/r8zsgd/ Edit 1 *** if you are struggling with your addiction, feel free to reach out to me directly. Further, r/leaves is a fantastic subreddit for support regarding quitting an addiction. Edit 2 *** these songs are the songs that got me through addiction. The first is A Reason to Fight, Disturbed, https://www.yahoo.com/watch V=T4382UVL0OFF, which gave me motivation to continue fighting my addiction. The second is The Funeral, Band of Horses, https://www.yahoo.com/watch V=CMFWFHTFOHK. That emotionally shocked me as I found meaning in the lyrics, expressing that my family and friends were watching me slip away into a dark path in life. Edit 3 *** this is not the case for everyone, but also, I experienced many of my stomach problems directly from constant, daily use of weed. If you'd like to read more, check out Cannabinoid Hyperemesis Syndrome, https://www.cedars-sinai.org/health-library/diseases and conditions/c/cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. HTML. After quitting, my problems dispersed. I quit like 6 months ago. I felt like I had to deal with some stuff I was going through soberly. I was also having unpleasant side effects, and wasn't getting as high, and it was costing me money. I don't it. I sure as hell used to, though. My problem was that when I was high, I would just veg out and be unproductive. It got to a point where I just didn't do anything. I just went home after work and smoked weed and sat there. One day I was smoking a cigarette on my sister's front porch, and my niece came out. She asked why I did that, while pointing to my Igara Toro vertical bar, and I didn't have a good answer. Smoking never really made me feel calm or relaxed, it was more of a habit. I told her well low vertical bar I don't know, but if I don't have a good enough reason to explain it, I am not going to do it anymore. And that was the last cigarette I had, stopped smoking weed at the same time. I don't talk to that side of my family, but I am glad that 5-year-old asked me a simple question that day. Edit this got some responses, so I just wanted to say this is how it affected *any asterisk. If it works for you, and you can do it safely, then by all means go for it. It is not my place to tell anyone what to do, I was just sharing my experience. The law requires me to say no. The law requires me to say no. I don't it. It does me in a bad way. Kind of like how alcohol does others in a bad way. Brain chemistry is different each of us, and we should not judge, or make biased laws. It's legal here, and my apartment is within 2 minutes walking distance from 3 weed shops. Marijuana makes me feel good and helps with my anxiety. Thank God for stores, where I can buy an ounce of weed legally, and for like half of what I could get it for on the streets, before it became illegal in Canada. It helps me eat food. I could go what feels like days without eating sometimes. I just get nauseous, and, as much as I love food, it's hard to get past without the weed. Of course not. I make a tincture, and consume it that way. A couple of grams of bud can keep me stoned for a month. The cheapest way to enjoy it. I don't get stoned every day, so it lasts for months. A slightly modified version of Golden Dragon. Cheaper than alcohol, even though alcohol is an ingredient to make the tincture. It's because it only takes a drop or two to do me in. One 750ml bottle of Everclear 190 will make over a dozen batches. The effect is more or less the same as getting pleasantly drunk, and absolutely no tilting/whirling or nausea. Does however last several hours, so the day is over when I take it. Just mix it in with some coffee or juice or food, or whatever. It will take a while to kick in, so absolutely do not take another dose. Unless you want to commune with the colors, and understand 1960s/1970s art, media, and architecture a little too well. Just go to bed. It won't kill you. Added recipe link. https old.com/r/ascreddit/comments/pax6s/do_u_y_y_not/r7 Rarely. My wife is a 12-stepper, so I don't get high around her. #SIMPLIFIED Golden Dragon recipe. Please only make in states where it's legal to consume cannabis. And where tinctures and edibles are also sold. Just to be safe. You will need 2 ounces, 60 milliliters, of Everclear 190 or similar/equivalent grain ethanol. If the alcohol can ignite, it's plenty good enough. The bud doesn't have to be anything special. Just decent THC content, or CBD or whatever it is you're aiming for. Special equipment, a thermos, a coffee filter or fine strainer, like a reusable coffee filter. Boil some water. Enough to fill the thermos. Vacuum insulated mugs are also good for this. The kind of mug where you scald yourself hours later, if you make tea with boiling water inside it. Put the bud in the thermos and fill it with boiling water. Put the lid on it and forget it. This step is called decarboxylation, where you activate the THC. This is where the process differs from the conventional Golden Dragon recipe. Instead of baking the weed, and stinking up the house, and even potentially burning it up, you boil it. No, suspicious, stink. No risk. Low energy input. The active ingredients will decarb at this temperature, just more slowly. Like the hours and hours it took for your thermos to cool down. Time is not critical, and you won't overcook. Now, swirl the thermos around, and pour out the bud into a filter and capture the water. A little of the active ingredients are in the water. Your first bonus dose. Add a little water back to the thermos, and get the rest of the bud out. It doesn't matter that the bud is still wet, no need to press it out or dry it. Chop it up damp like this, and there won't be bits of it flying around the room. Like chopping dry bud. Don't grind it. You're just making the big pieces into smaller pieces with a little more surface area. Grinding it to microscopic crumbs will just make a mud that will block steeping the good stuff out. Put it into a small jar and add the grain alcohol. Walmart sells a 4-pack of little 3-ounce mason jars with lids. Keep the jar away from sunlight. Every day, shake the jar and take a look at it. When it has gone from green to golden, it's done. This can take more than a week. So there was never a reason to hurry the decarb step. If you're concerned about how long this takes, just make a new batch before the old batch is used up. You can mix that water you saved with some drink mix, or chug it as is. This will make you stoned in an hour or so. This would be one of those acquired tastes you've heard about. Like black coffee or alcohol. It tastes like grass, or other weed smell. Not terrible, but not all that appetizing, if you're not a goat. It is completely optional to remove the bud bits from it. If you do, there is still some active ingredients left in it. Whether you take the wet bud out at the start, or when you finish the last of the batch, you can let it air out until the alcohol stench is gone, and mix it with a snack. This is the second bonus dose. You could even try to make one bonus batch with the bud. Just add more alcohol, and repeat the shake everyday steps when you use up the batch. Anyways, the dose size is about 1 milliliter. A tiny sip. The alcohol taste and smell is very strong. It mixes well with citrus or coffee, or whatever you like. It will take an hour, possibly longer for it to kick in. Especially after a big meal. The onset is somewhat sudden, so don't take this if you have anything planned. Just watch some TV, or do some other idle thing while waiting. It will put you to sleep if you lie down. I put the overall sensation as buzzed, like alcohol, but not dizzy. The overall body sensation is like feeling paralyzed, but I can move just fine. Note, if you drink 2 shots of liquor and wait an hour, you will get drunk in a similar way. People overdose on alcohol because they keep drinking when they don't feel much. Just like you can take way too much of this. If you take way too much, you may feel like you can't remember if you were breathing or not. You were breathing. Probably. Just go to bed and have crazy dreams. I do not. Never felt the need. I prefer to face the misery of reality with all of my faculties. I like my suffering raw. I did. I stopped when my wife said she was pregnant. I knew I would tell my kids not to do drugs, and didn't want to be a hypocrite. Now that they're out of the house, I thought of starting again. Did 4 years, quit before our son was born about 5 years ago or so. We didn't have a lot of money at the time, let alone preparing to bring up a child, and we quit, wife and I. First 2 weeks was hard after, but I don't really care anymore. Once or twice a year I'll take a hit or two, and that's just fine. I didn't realize how mentally dependent I actually was smoking it until I quit. I drink a couple man cans now here and there, natty daddies, way cheaper. Anyway, if you smoke, all the power to yap. If not, or you quit, that's great too. Your life and your decisions. No. I quit everything. No. Asthma. I know people with asthma who smoke it. It's pretty funny seeing them take a hit, and then reaching for the inhaler, lol. Yes. Love it. Took it up at age 50. I have noticed that a lot of people I know that took up smoking weed as a minor grew to dislike it over time, but practically everyone I know who started as an adult loves it. I wonder if it has to do with brain development at all. No, I drive a semi, so federal law prohibits me. I get random tests. Yes, it increases my patience level and allows me to have a stress-free day. DDD. No. Can't stand the smell. Have no interest in it. I've accepted the fact that I will have to work until I die and will never be able to afford true retirement. So I enjoy my retirement one hit at a time. Yes, because getting high feels good. Do not Corporate America loves them some drug tests, and as a single income provider for my family, the risk of failing a random test outweighs the rewards. I still don't think smoking anything is great for your lungs, including campfires. If I ever try weed, it will be via edibles. Nope. No desire to edit. I think if you smoke weed, have smoked weed, or currently smoke weed, that's just fine. I'm all for legalization. Yes, but not as much as I used to. Ever since I started experimenting with psychedelics, cannabis has also been either a good or a bad time depending on the setting. If I have gotten everything done that I need to and I am in a good headspace, it is a great way to relax, but if I am trying to avoid my problems, it shoves them right back in my face. I smoke daily, small amounts several times. I have had an anxiety and was prescribed meds when I was in high school. The meds gave me bad side effects and caused changes in my personality. When I stopped the meds, it was hard for me to go about my daily life. Smoking weed really curbs my anxiety and allows me to focus. I don't smoke enough to get totally faded, but just enough to take the edge off. OFC, sometimes I like to get stoned off and play some video games and eat snacks, but the majority of the time I use it as medication and not a drug. Marijuana really is a wonderful alternative to some medications, and I wish that more people were well informed enough to see it. Big Pharma would take a big hit if it became illegal at the federal level and was widely used as a medication, so I highly doubt it will be anytime soon with the money they pay to PACs and other government agencies. Used to, but me and my husband are trying for a kid, and I want my body to be clean in every way so that I can properly grow a new life in me. Yes. Because I have an autoimmune disease and my doctor put me on 10 different pills that made all my symptoms worse. Weight gain / depression soon followed. Smoked weed and I was pain-free for the first time in nearly 2 years. I've smoked for 5 years now. Gotta keep going strong. No, I grew up around it and watched how people drowned their lives in it. There are many weed smokers who have their together, but I know people who cannot half pay their bills and rent, asking for loans, but have weed money to smoke. Many people I know who are stuck in a tight job position or jobless and cannot apply elsewhere because they want to pass a drug test. It is okay to smoke responsibly when you are in a secure career and your priorities are straight, but if you have 3 or 4 pink slips on bills, stuck in a dead-end job, asking people for money, but somehow can conjure money to smoke despite all else, I would say that is a problem to be looked into. Based from what I have experienced, I have encountered more ambition-less weed smokers than high-functioning ones. I don't. Personally, I think the smell is disgusting. No. I have never done it before. It has never interested me, and I still don't care to try it. Yes, I am high-strung and an anxious person. Marijuana mellows me out and allows my thoughts to get in order. I can, however, go days without smoking, and besides being a little more anxious and having difficulty sleeping, it does not totally ruin my life and I am able to function just fine without. I also never smoked when at work, and I was an overachiever and excellent at what I did. I just did not make friends. My anxiety, even medicated, was still bad. I would throw myself into my work, and multitasking was easy for my ever-going brain. I don't. I've never really got it. I just feel sleepy and dumb when I smoke. I often wonder if it's a different experience for other people, like, what am I missing? Yes, it allows me to sleep at night without my mind going to places it shouldn't. I don't, partly because of asthma, and the smell also gives me nausea and migraines. All the drug comments in here are geeked. But I'd be willing to bet that you use caffeine and or alcohol. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.